Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. Dai-chan here, and it's time for another Waifu Monthly Recap. This is my chance to show off all the cool and interesting waifu-related media I've come across, but isn't substantial enough for individual coverage. September flew by in a heartbeat. This time around, most of the new media comes from the video game side of things, as September saw most of the seasonal anime wrapping up. That said, there were some shows worth pointing out. Even though the Suicide Squad Isekai finished its first season in August, September gave us a special treat in the form of a music video featuring Calliope Mori, the singer behind the show's end credits. The song Go Getters isn't my favorite of Mori's works, but the MV is fire, featuring Mori and Harley Quinn dancing with well-animated choreography. I've seen TikTok and YouTube shorts replicating the dance, both in person and with MMD. It's funny how all the dudes show up, but only by standing around in the background. We all know who the real stars are. My favorite anime of the season, Makeine, Too Many Losing Heroines, finished up its core. Episodes 8 and 9 had the cast preparing for a school festival, gifting us some glorious horror-themed outfits for the girls. The student council girl here is practically falling out of her haunted nurse costume. She was already pretty unnerving without the theme. Lemon-chan proves that once again she's best girl by not realizing her mummy outfit is exceptionally bold. It's refreshing to see people not so alarmed or embarrassed about exposure. 2.5-dimensional Seduction also finished its core. It actually deals with what I was just talking about. The school's manga club is finally approved, but to avoid public backlash about Ririsa's lewd cosplays, the principal keeps their approval a secret. Is it really something they need to hide, though? Overall, I'd say this show is a discount my dress-up darling. It's a sexy and wholesome dive into the passion of cosplay, but it's also padded out with way too much internal monologue. I suspect the manga handles that better. Plus, it's even more lewd. McDonald's Japan is at it again with its wholesome anime ads. We've got the dude and his girlfriend sharing casual banter while munching down, and that iconic family also makes their return. Perhaps it's a cruel way to show lonely otaku what they could have if they went outside and ate French fries? If you read the comments, it's a lot of jealousy or aunties complaining about McDonald's as a business. Surprisingly relevant, that leads me to our first gaming waifu, Mualani from Genshin Impact. While boycotters take issue with the Natlan region's exotic designs and lack of dark skin, I for one am gushing over this adorable shark lady. I like Gargura, but she ain't hot like Mualani. I usually don't have enough time for Genshin, but I was still able to log in and pull her with my existing Primogems. It could just be a coincidence, but I feel Genshin's drop rates are kinder than other Hoyoverse titles. For instance, trying to pull my waifu in Zenless Zone Zero is like pulling teeth. Fortunately, I didn't feel compelled to recruit one of its latest gals, Jane Doe. She's a rat girl working for public security, specifically as an undercover agent who thwarts criminal organizations from within. Her trailer, Deadly Interrogation, both delighted and offended the community with its thirsty visuals. Can we please just have this? I mean, I've never seen an apple be eaten so sensually. Zenless fit another big update in the same month, introducing the Sons of Caledon, a female-dominated biker gang in New Eridu's Outer Rim. Their chapter showcases existing waifu Lucy and Piper, who are easy enough to pull since they're A-rank. The new member debuting in September happened to be the group's leader, Caesar King, who fights with a sword and shield. Her combat style is great, and I hope I'm lucky enough to get her without spending any money. I think I'll have to pass on the flamethrower girl, Bernice. She happens to violate one of my waifu pet peeves, bearing only the upper midriff. Just like Nilo from Genshin Impact, I want to pull that skirt down below her navel where it belongs. It's a popular fashion trend, but I hate it. Anyway, a lot of Hoyoverse's aunties were throwing a fit about this shower scene, even though all you see are feet and silhouettes. For the record, both Lucy and Piper are adults. Not like that would offend me either way. Too bad the rest of the world isn't so stoic. By that, I refer to the West, of course. Recently, Square Enix revealed a number of censored designs being implemented for their Dragon Quest III HD remake. This has resulted in butchering fantastic outfits created by the late Akira Toriyama. A new interview was conducted during Tokyo Game Show, in which the developers expressed their frustrations with having to comply with various standards to achieve an all-ages rating. Oftentimes, the fault lies with SERO, Japan's ratings board, but in this case, they mention Western regulations forcing their hand. Why can't they just make the game they want to, and not worry so much about the age rating? If it's a fun game, people are going to play it, kids and adults. I grew up playing Conker's Bad Fur Day in middle school, and I'm sure most of us touched Grand Theft Auto well before turning 17. Screw the ratings, so long as it still makes it to store shelves. Needless to say, I won't be supporting this game. The same is likely true for the new Fairy Tail RPG coming out. While the publishers have promised that the game won't be censored, our trust was broken by how, for the previous Fairy Tail game, the publishers dropped a Day 1 patch that covered upskirts, among other things. I'd love to be proven wrong about this, but I hate being lied to. That kind of thing should totally count as false advertisement. What I'm sure won't be censored, though, is Gung Ho's latest announcement of a Lunar 1 and 2 HD collection. The Lunar series started off on the Sega CD, and the definitive versions of the first two games released way back on the PlayStation 1. Their mechanics may be simple by today's standards, but they're still two of the most charming adventure RPGs around. Gung Ho did a great job preserving the authenticity of their Grandia remasters, so I'm extremely excited and confident about this one. I imagine the deciding factor will be the scenes where Lucio walks around with Barbie doll anatomy. Another remaster that just came out is Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. There was some debate at launch over whether this game got censored, but aside from some slightly different jiggle physics, all of the original game's assets are there and looking far cleaner than ever before. I played the original when it came out on PS3, and I might just pick this new release up. While Juliet is mega hot, and the idea of mowing down zombies with a chainsaw is invigorating, I recall the controls being very janky, and I'm not a fan of the game's music. Meanwhile, Snowbreak Containment Zone is absolutely killing it with its interaction zines. I'm at max capacity for gacha games, but I'm starting to feel really envious of this title. This puts Dead or Alive's new Venus Vacation game to shame. Rather than just watching the girls from afar, Snowbreak invites us to get in on the action, and I'm just blown away by the results. If only it were a single-player game, like this new one I got, called Yars Rising. Way forward, the developers of the Shantae series have brought us another goofy, anime-inspired platformer. It's their extremely loose adaptation of Yars Revenge, an old game on the Atari. I can already tell this one's no masterpiece, but with a protagonist like her, I'm more than willing to give it a shot. Within the span of a single month, not one, but two Atelier console titles were announced. The main attraction is definitely Atelier Yumiya. She may not be as revolutionary as Raizo was, but Yumiya herself is very pretty. The gameplay looks fun as hell, and there are a plethora of gorgeous waifu in the supporting cast. Both Isla and Lenja have my oh-so-favorite midriff trope, and Nina's a total babe in her own right. This is definitely a game to keep an eye on. The other one is Atelier Resleriana, the Red Alchemist and White Guardian. This cute cat girl also bears midriff, and while that's all I currently know, that's all I really need to know until more gameplay is shown off. I had the pleasure of joining the first closed alpha test for a new waifu shooter called Fate Trigger the Nobita. It's a PUBG-styled battle royale game with Overwatch hero mechanics. Though I suck at this kind of game, it's mainly because there were never any titles in the genre that appealed to me. Now that it's got an anime aesthetic, I'm all in. If you're interested in seeing more, be sure to check out my live stream, where I spent a good 4 hours showing off the alpha test. I can't wait for the full release to come. Now, I'm gonna end this video on a bit of a controversy. Maybe it's a guilty pleasure, but I find the Class of '09 games rather funny. That and Nicole and Jekka are really hot. Jekka's VA, Kaylee Mills, does an exceptionally good job, such that it paints my interpretation of all her other roles. I like to think of Class of '09 as an anime-styled South Park, where it's comedy that emerges from literally everything being corrupt and edgy. I don't condone the actions of the game's creator, as he was documented bullying autistic kids back in 2008. But when I divorce the art from the artist, I still think there's some value to be had. It's definitely not a game for everyone, but I personally enjoy it. That's all the cool stuff I encountered during the month of September. October should give us even more to talk about, as a whole new season of anime will start airing. For you guys, be sure to write in the comments which waifu-related media you discovered lately. It can be retro stuff, modern stuff, as long as it's new to you. Also, look forward to a trilogy of horror-themed waifu files for this month as well. Bye-bye!
Thanks for watching.
If you enjoy this channel, help us grow by liking, commenting, sharing the video, subscribing to OtakuDaiKun, and
most of all, smashing that notification bell so you don't miss out on all our anime lore, discussions, and Let's Play content.
You can support us directly through Patreon, Subscribestar, or a YouTube membership, all of which come with benefits like spicy exclusive vids and early access.
As always, celebrate your fandom. I want to give a special shout out to all my $10 and up supporters. Video Gamer 75, Dante Pendragon, Chaos Sonic 1, Trodai Connacht, Steven Elak, Otaku Mom, Jens Bauman, Mystic Samurai 1983, Free Brick, Olympian Doll, Lunar Works, Link Pendrago, Observer Bellis, James Hewitt, Uncanny EXP, Crow Calum, Saul Soto, Tristan Riggin, Major, Waifu Mado, Dionysus, God of Wine and Madness, Caitlin P, Sogai CH, Vladimir Ovna, The Taz 96, Jonathan Padua, Kengo X77, Alistair Bernadotte, and Akakaze Yume. Thank you all so much.